Ooh, hello everybody. This is another video that I will talk to you. Today I really want to talk about something about football, but I do not have time. It's actually almost midnight at the 31st of August in Vietnam. And yep, I'm washing the dishes. I hope that the audio will not be affected so much here. Anyway, let's talk about some topics in football that you know. The last day of the August is also the last day of the transfer market in European football, summer transfer market. Everybody care about the window, the signings, and especially we always know that in the last day of the window there will always be a chance for big signings to be completed. I want to talk a bit about some signings that is significant. I got the information today and I hope that it can give you some insights. For anybody who is new to the channel, I can say that this is kind of the videos that I make to practice English. You know that now in Vietnam we have lockdown in many places, many cities, many provinces, so we do not have opportunities to go out, to meet up, to talk to others, especially foreigners. So I do not have opportunities to speak English to real people. So I find an alternative, and this is making videos on YouTube talking about all the topics that I care about. I just make it once, I guess. Yes, actually once. But I just hope that I can talk to you guys, can give you something from this. Like a video that I've watched lately from a channel named Two Will Crew, if I'm right. A guy living in Japan. He speaks about everything in Japan that he knows about. The video that I've watched, he told the viewers why foreigners are leaving Japan. I think it's insightful and it inspires me to make these kinds of videos. Just talk when I'm doing something like washing dishes right now. Again, I hope that the audio will be good enough. And yes, without further ado, let's get back to our topic today. Signing of the day, I really believe that my opinion will be different from you. But I have always thought about Marcel Sabitzer joining Bayern Munich today. Just, you know, it feels like RB Leipzig. The last season, they finished runner-up. They put some pressure on Bayern Munich, and then the next season, Bayern the Grey Tigers, Munich, revenged very harshly. They stole. I believe that I can use the word stole. They stole the head coach, the manager from RB Leipzig. They brought the number one defender, center back of Leipzig to Allianz Arena, and now the captain also. So you know that we always understand the inevitable power of Bayern Munich in Bundesliga, but to come this far, I hate it. I hate the fact that Bayern Munich can sign every player, every marquee star from every team in Bundesliga. It's so sick, and it makes the league less competitive. That's what I see. If you watch the match between Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund, the DFB Super Cup this season, you'll see that the gap is so big. Borussia Dortmund, they literally couldn't do anything to harm the champions. It's so sad to look at something like that. Yeah, of course, it's good when Bayern Munich, they represent German teams to compete in UEFA Champions League, but it's not everything. You only have about 6 matches in the group stage of UCL, and 6 plus 1 if you're the champions or the runner-up of UEFA Champions League. So it's like 12 to 13 matches in UEFA Champions League. All the time, most of the time, you compete in your domestic league, Bundesliga, 34 matches, not in the UEFA Champions League or any other European competitions. So yeah, I want to watch some more competitive matches in Bundesliga rather than very rare to watch something in UEFA Champions League. That's not good for a viewer like me. And back to the German. As I told you, this video is recorded in around midnight of the 31st day of August in Vietnam. I'm sorry, I have to bend down. Yep. Okay. So it's actually the end of the transfer window in Bundesliga. The German teams, they finished their summer transfer market. For RB Leipzig, they lost Sabitzer, as we talked, and they also, in return they brought a player from Barcelona, RB Leipzig. I just heard the news. I have to be honest, I do not know who is RB Leipzig. I just read some newspapers. They said that RB Leipzig is a player who used to be respected under Ronald Koeman in Barcelona, but now he's actually out of the plan, and he didn't want to extend his contract with Barcelona, and he moved to RB Leipzig to fight new challenges. I don't know about this guy, but he is just a young player, and you cannot expect something like he will be the adequate or alternative for the captain Marcel Sabitzer, the Austrian international. And talking about Barcelona and La Liga, I think the biggest news in La Liga today is about Kylian Mbappe to Real Madrid or not. And yes, many sources telling that Kylian Mbappe will not join Real Madrid this summer because the offer 170 million euros plus 10 million bonus from Real Madrid was rejected by Paris Saint-Germain. I cannot understand that. Firstly, I have to say Real Madrid, they had a good move to attempt to sign Kylian Mbappe. The guy's young and in the final year in the contract with Paris Saint-Germain. So yes, 170 million is still a very unreasonable number. But anyway, it is still lower than the number that PSG demanded, 220 million euros. I cannot believe that, 220 million euros for a player who is coming to the final year in the contract. Come on, this inflation is a very, very huge trouble with the transfer system of European football. I think right now many teams in Europe are missing Chinese Super League. Before they have a renovation, you can say that, right? They applied new rules on the salary cap for the foreign players, which makes Chinese clubs not the intriguing destinations for the players like Hulk, Diogo Costa anymore. Now they can just receive a very, very modest number compared to which the foreign players, the imports, used to receive in China. And you look at the team like Barcelona. If the Chinese clubs can still spend the big money that they used to spend, so they can bring somebody like Samuel Umtiti, Philippe Coutinho, Ousmane Dembele. I know that they are all still in their prime, and the chance for them to come to China or MLS is very slim. But anyway, they still have a chance, right? Oscar, we all remember the midfielder. He left Chelsea to join Shanghai SIPG in his prime, and it doesn't matter just about money. Many players, if you say something like Oscar, they have families to raise, they have to make the money. So if the offer is big, so it's very reasonable for them to take it. But now it's Chinese teams and any other teams outside of Europe, even in Qatar, even in Saudi Arabia or America, they cannot spend big money anymore. Also because of the COVID-19 situation, it's very hard to give away all the high profile but going down players in the squad like Barcelona. Barcelona had a terrible transfer window, I have to say that, this summer. For Real Madrid, the thing is much brighter, I can say. They got David Alaba, the signing of an advanced player who can play in the central back, can play in the wing back, full back, and even the midfield. He's so thorough, comprehensive with the game. That's such a very quality signing from Real Madrid. And in the last day, they do not acquire Kylian Mbappe, but in return, they got another star from France. That's a midfielder, the young midfielder, Eduardo Camanvinga, who is 17, 18, I think. Cannot be older than that. He came from Brown. The name of this club is very hard. I study French, but I still do not believe that I am pronouncing it well. Gonne, I believe that, or we can call them Rennes. Yes. Camanvinga is also a player coming to the final year on the contract, and Rennes is not a club like Paris Saint-Germain. Come on, the French club's names, I cannot pronounce them. So sorry for that. Anyway, Rennes is not that rich. They had to sell player to get some money back in the club to reinvest, and they did that. Real Madrid acquired Eduardo Camanvinga for 31 million euros, with the length of the contract is set 5 years. For anybody who have not known about Camanvinga yet, I believe that this guy is also a very advanced midfielder. He played really well, knows how to escape the press very well. He could win the duel. He had good athleticism. He could assist, very advanced from my point of view, from the highlights that I've watched about this guy. He's young, so yes, he will be the future for Real Madrid. But now at present, he can also contribute something for the team. He's already a French international, so yes, I will not be surprised if right next season this guy became a starter in the lineup of Real Madrid, which is pretty old, with Luka Modric, Toni Kroos, Marcelo, all the guys like that, Karim Benzema, Gareth Bale, all the old guys, the old guardians. They will be replaced very early, in maybe 2 or 3 next years. So that's about Real Madrid. Other teams, I am thinking about Arsenal. 5-0 last weekend against Manchester City. Come on, you cannot believe that. Arsenal now, they're in huge trouble. They cannot find any clear plan to let them out of this mess. And Mikel Arteta, the manager, didn't have a ball. I'm going to talk about the strategy of the match because I didn't watch this live. But for Arsenal, look at the number they spent on the transfer market in the last 4 years. They spent over 200 million euros in the transfer market and bring so many players to the team. Nicolas Pepe, Ben White this summer, Lokonga, Tavares, many players. But you can see that they are not top signings. Even Martin Odegaard, they are not top signings. The squad of Arsenal, it is not upgraded so much through the years, in spite of the big money they spent. That sucks. I have to say that the directors, the people who are responsible for transferring in Arsenal, they are doing bad work. And just in the last day of this transfer window, they released Willian to let the player coming back to his hometown, his home country, play for Corinthians in Brazil. That sucks again. I really believe that when they signed Willian from Chelsea, they had certain expectation, but the player was going down at the time, and it's very hard to understand. Under Arsene Wenger, Arsenal is a team finding young stars, signing them, develop them, then sell with a big price tags. But now they are doing contrast. They're doing contrary. Come on, I cannot find the word. Yes, maybe in contrast. They spend big money to have the players, but then they release them, they sold them with a very little number in return. That sucks. Totally sucks. Okay, I can say that I'm just going through halfway in washing the dishes. Now I use water to clean them all again from the detergent. So I want to talk a little bit more about football these days. I can say that the small teams are less talked about, but they also have many interesting aspects for us to learn about, to understand, and to respect them. Like last match day, I watched the match between Wolfsburg and RB Leipzig. This is the second match of RB Leipzig this season that I've watched, and I can say that I was disappointed, totally disappointed with the way RB Leipzig is playing right now. They are building up so slow from the back line. They didn't create any breakthroughs in attack, in offense, like under 2 years of Nagelsmann's management. I have to say that I didn't understand so much about Jesmas, the new manager of RB Leipzig, but he worked in Red Bull Salzburg. There's a podcast about Austrian football named the other Bundesliga. The top flight of Austria is also named Bundesliga, like in Germany. And they talked about Red Bull Salzburg, the former club of Jesmas. They talk about speedy offense, high pace, high press, but in Leipzig at present, I still feel like Jesmas cannot coach the team to do the same thing. We all remember the matches like Red Bull Salzburg playing against Liverpool of Jurgen Klopp in the Champions League 1 or 2 seasons ago. I do not remember, but yes, the score is like 3-4, something very crazy. Both teams were attacking in high pace. That is so crazy, so interesting to watch. But for RB Leipzig right now, I watched 2 matches. They played against Wolfsburg last week, and let me remember the team that they faced in the opener of the season. Freiburg? No, maybe not. Yeah, anyway, they lost 2 matches like that. I mean, it's so crazy that they lost 2 matches like that. They could do much better, but yeah, they lost. In the match with Wolfsburg last week, I can say that I'm pretty surprised by the Wolfsburg team, the only team left in the Bundesliga to win all 3-on-3 match days. They are now managed by the young manager, former Bayern Munich player Mark van Bomen. The manager coming from the Netherlands. His lack of experience in the job, but he's doing so well. He got 9 points for Wolfsburg, which even Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund and RB Leipzig couldn't do. That's so good. I think the future is very promising for the team. Mark van Bomen, he is emotional on the pitch. He inspires the player to come out to play with all their energy. That is so good. I love the kind of manager. I love that kind of style, which is ironically should be done better by Jesmas, the manager of RB Leipzig. But no, Mark van Bomen is doing it better, and it's crazy. Speaking of managers, Have you watched the match between Chelsea and Liverpool last week? It's a very, very dramatic fight with two contenders for the title in England. I didn't watch the first half, but just watching the second half give me a glimpse on these two title contenders. Like Chelsea, I have to say that first they are lucky. They are lucky a bit because the red card of Rhys James coming in the end of the first half. So Thomas Tuchel, he had 15 minutes to exchange words and ideas with his players. He had time to show his players to play against a very, very good attacking team like Liverpool. Imagine if had come in the minute 60 or 65 something. Yeah, I really believe that Chelsea will not be able to keep their clean sheet. So back to the match, I could say that Chelsea formed a very, very good team shape. They closed all the spaces. They made the Liverpool players couldn't move the ball into the box. That's why Liverpool struggled to find the goal in the second half of the match, even when they are one more man. But from Liverpool's side, I really believe that Jurgen Klopp should have done something different, like his substitutions. I cannot believe why he substituted Jordan Henderson out and replaced him by Thiago Alcantara. Yes, Thiago is a very great player, but the style of his play, the ball dominance, controlling the ball, passing around, I really don't think that he can contribute in a match that requires more attacking pace. Thiago didn't bring that to the Liverpool team, and he played like Harvey Elliott, the midfielder that already on the field of Liverpool. That's so sad. If you look at these two players, they play alike and do not bring any difference to the team. So I finished washing the dishes. I can talk to you guys a little bit more comfortable. I hope that I can finish the talk about Chelsea versus Liverpool. Yes, I should say that Liverpool versus Chelsea, the match is held in the Anfield. And talking about Liverpool, we are talking about the substitutions, right? One substitution is Henderson out and Thiago in. The other is, let me see, I cannot remember. Wow, some days and my memory is not that good. But anyway, I believe that Jurgen Klopp should have substituted Naby Keita on and Harvey Elliott out. Instead of Henderson out, Henderson should be in the field. He should stay there to join the duels, to tackle the ball, to inspire the players around. From my observation, after Henderson was substituted out, the team got two situations that they had to defend against the counter attack from Chelsea team. That is not good because Chelsea only had 10 men. And but anyway, I have to say that Jurgen Klopp had done so many things tactically in that second half. He tried so many ways to find the goal for the team. He rotated Harvey Elliott from the midfield to the wing and put Trent Alexander-Arnold from the right wing into the half space. He put Virgil van Dijk into the box of Chelsea for some headers. He tried something new in the left winger, just the left wing. I really believe that this match Costa the Simicats should be the starter instead of Andrew Robertson, or at least after the first half. Jurgen Klopp should substitute Andrew Robertson by the Simicats. Simicats, he was the player of the match in the match day 2, and he's in a very good form. So why didn't Klopp give him another chance instead of bringing in a, a player like Andrew Robertson, a good player, but he just came back from the injury. That is not good. And the Simcat had a good delivery in his last 5 minutes on the field. That is good, and I really believe that Klopp should do that. Play the Simicats instead of Andrew Robertson in the starting of the second half. And about Chelsea, as I mentioned, they play so well. Thomas Tuchel, he's genius, a real genius. He understood the team so well. He understood his opponents, how to control the power from the other team. And Jorginho, he so deserves to be the player of the year of UEFA. Come on, you look at the way he played in the match, very calmly, under pressure. 2-3 players going to press him. He tries to keep the ball and then pass it perfectly or draw a foul, which can give the team some more time to waste. That is so good. And about the team shape, about every player in the lineup of Chelsea that day, I can say that they did so well. That's good. So yeah, we talk about some of the signings in the last day of transfer window, summer transfer window in Europe. I hope that I give you some insight about Marcel Sabitzer, the relation between the King Bayern Munich and the other teams in Bundesliga. Some signings from La Liga, Eduardo Camanvinga from Rennes of Ligue 1 to Real Madrid, and how bad Barcelona now is missing China football. Something like that. I just hope that I can give you some information, some opinions from myself. And if you have watched till this point, I really appreciate. I am so grateful for that. I understand that this video is not any way interesting. It will have some noise like the crashing of the dishes. I know that. I'm sorry for that, and I hope that I know how to edit the video better. Maybe I will learn and do it later, but right now I just want to share all the information. I really cannot hold my my desire to talk anymore, so I want to talk, I want to share, and I hope that it can some way benefit you guys. If it cannot, I will try to improve in the next time to talk to you. I know that my English now is still weak at some points, but keep practicing, and I believe that I will get it better to give you some more information about everything, every topic that I care about. And if you have any recommendation, you can give me under the comment section. I will listen to them and try to make the video to talk to you guys. I have some plans in the future. Hope that everything will go well. So yeah, that's all for today's video. I do not have any clock here, but I know that it is kind of almost 1 a.m. in Vietnam right now. I need to go to sleep, and I hope you guys will have a blessed day. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.